I just started over in WarThunder. Let me explain. I've been playing WarThunder for over 5 years now, and I wanted to take my experience and knowledge to start a brand new WarThunder account, and grind from the bottom up. No premiums, no bushes, just stock German tanks and the painful dreams of free-to-play glory. Now let's see how far I can get with almost nothing, and I'll show you what works, what sucks, where to subscribe, and hopefully you'll come out the other side getting results like this, and the grind from reserve to top tier. The very first tank and plane on the German tech tree is the Panzer 38T and the HE 51A1. And for those who need a refresh, the Panzer 38T is a reserve level light tank, which means no armor, and it packs a 37mm gun, so I guess decent penetration for its tier, and a turning speed that's, well, too slow to calculate. And the biplane, it's just a typical biplane for its tier. Slow, barely any guns, and it falls out of the sky when you turn. So as you might expect, I was not looking forward to this. This has got to be the most common map at reserve level. 90% of the time, I'm getting this map when I try to get film. And as you can see, I got myself a squad mate. BDP Weenie.
What do you mean by that?
Later on, he serves a purpose, but for the majority of the map, we didn't play like a squad. I took a quick peek through the hangar, and I didn't see anything, so I carried on. But what I didn't realize is that someone was going to make it to the zone first and ambush me. One thing I'm already noticing is how slow the 38T is for a light tank. The first Panzer III is 2 times faster.
What?
So I think that this 38T is going to have to be an ambushing tank, but we'll see. I made a run for the zone, and there's the ambusher. I just narrowly avoided death. And I parked at my favorite spot to cap in this zone. It gives you just enough cover while letting you see enemies coming from the water or the spawn, and you can get the same advantage on the other side. Here comes the ambusher coming to get me, but little does he know that I'm ready this time. And somehow my first shot only gets his gunner, which is why he doesn't shoot back, but the next shot kills him. But out of the corner of my eye, I see another ambusher. He suffers the same fate as the last one. I then decided to move after those 2 kills, and I drive to my other favorite spot on this map. Not only is this tank extremely slow, but it's super ugly. Look at it. However, this is going to take a while, and that's because the 38T's top speed is 20 miles an hour. That's just one reason why I don't suggest to use the 38T as a capping tank. Any other Panzer will go faster. But in my case, this video is all about the 38T and the HE 51A1, so I'm stuck with it for now. Fun fact, did you know that over 1,400 38Ts were made? That is a lot of wasted metal. Imagine how much that would cost for a tank this bad. Not only that, but I'm fighting Stuarts and T-26s. But in World War II, it was fighting T-34s and KVs. Thankfully though, in 1942 the Germans came to their senses and halted production. But they still used the 38T as guard tanks to guard things like trains. I can't imagine how effective that would be. Hey! You're not supposed to be here. Wait! Thankfully, I arrived at my destination untouched.
You have arrived at your destination.
And then this. What the heck? This isn't a concert. Thankfully, a quick drive forward solves the issue, and I was able to catch another unsuspecting enemy.
Bruh.
By now, my squad mate had cut back up, and I decided after that kill to move spots again. That was a mistake, as we'll see later on. But here's where my squad mate serves a purpose. He creates a distraction just long enough for me to get a shot off. But my aim was bad, so I hit the shallow front plate. Even though the front plate is only 20mm thick, I can't pin it at its shallow angle. And I pay the price. Even though I'm able to kill him, he just gave away my position to any half-paying attention enemy. And sure enough... But thankfully, he ran right into my gun.
A bottle of water?
Unfortunately, another pesky Stuart took me out. So my short run wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I killed 5 tanks and capped a zone. But my run wasn't over yet. It's time for close air support. I'm always getting bombed, but this time I can't get bombed in a plane, so I'm safe. Or so I thought. I spawned in the HE 51A1, and immediately dove for the ground. See, when you're in an airplane, you're easy to spot against the light sky, as your plane appears black at a distance. But when you're on the ground, you break the line of sight, so buildings, trees, random towers, they all provide cover for your plane. Which is why this guy didn't see me until the last minute, and it was almost too late for him. I dueled him head on, counting on the weak low tier guns, and I got a couple of hits but nothing vital, so I turned around, and there he is again! I strafed the top of his plane, hoping that maybe I'd kill his pilot, but no luck there. So I turned around again, and shot him in the back a whole bunch, and still no luck. And then, he tried to bomb me! It literally doesn't matter what I play, I'm always getting bombed. I bet I'll get bombed when I get to the helicopters. Then I switched targets to a P-26 that just crashed, so it was back to the bomber. After another head-on brawl and still no luck, I then accidentally dipped my wing in the water and it pulled me in, so that was that. I had no more crews left, so I just watched the guy that killed me until he too crashed. So now, with my newfound knowledge, I was gonna dominate the battlefield. Or so I thought. My next map was gonna be even worse than before. I'm back in the 38T and feeling the need for speed. And this time I'm playing with Rat Tank for life. And of course, I got the abandoned factory. But I decided to take a different route to the zone, as last time I almost died. However, this time I wasn't even gonna be able to cap, until I was spared by the 222's sloppy driving. I again went around to my favorite spot with my squad mate this time, and immediately shot an unsuspecting tank, and that was my first mistake. I let him get away. I'll pay the price for that later. So I sat for a moment waiting for a tank, but I didn't see anything. So I decided to move on, driving right into the guy I just shot. And then my squad mate drove into me, and in the process into his gun, so we both died. My mistake was trying to find a tank that I had no clue where it was. I should have just left. But now I'm pissed off. All I did was cap, and I only have the biplane left. It's still super early in the map, so the chances of me surviving the rest of the map in the biplane is super slim. But I took it in anyway. This time I have fighter support. You should never fly without fighter support. This time though, I stayed high, as I didn't see any enemy planes. After a quick check for enemy close air support, I dove down on an AA truck. Almost shooting down my squad. Whoops. But no luck. It's typically a bad idea to strafe AAs once, but twice? That's a death sentence. But I was still pissed off, and I wasn't gonna let that stop me. So I turned around and strafed him again, and luckily this time I got him without getting shot down. After that, I wasn't so pissed off, so I saved my squad mate to make up for almost killing him, and got the fighter off his tail, and then I one-shotted him. Seriously, I hit his pilot. After that, I started feeling better about the match. I wasn't doing too bad, and I was able to think clearer. And I realized that I had no real fighter support anymore. My squad mate had crashed, and the only plane up wasn't really a fighter. So I scurried off to a safe distance. By now, I'm down to just 500 bullets, so I have to make each one count. I turn around for one last run in hopes to save my friendly from his impending doom, but I fell, and he crashes. After a quick kill, I sort of get ripped apart, but thankfully he crashes. And I'm able to head back to base for repairs. And it was a long way back. But eventually I did make it. The map was getting close to the end though, so I had to hurry up. Now, I really don't like playing this biplane, or any plane for that matter. I resent close air support for constantly bombing me, so I might not be the best judge if this plane is good or bad, as I'm biased against close air support. So comment your opinion in the comments so that we can get a less biased view of this biplane.
Nice.
After increasing my throttle too early and starting over my repairs, I wasted another 30 seconds. Wait, is that a door? It was! What the heck? I didn't know this had a door. By this point, I was the last dude on the map. There was literally no one else. But I did make it back to the map just in time for it to end.
Bruh.
So all in all, I played 21 matches with both the 38T and the A1. And here's my analysis. The Panzer 38T is slow, it has a weak gun and medium armor, and it turns slower than a battleship. So if you want to survive and get kills along the way, then I would suggest flanking and ambushing high traffic spots like cap zones, spawn points, and common routes. So as a starter tank, it's not bad. For the HE-51A1, it's not great in my opinion. There's a lot of biplanes that can outplay it. However, it does have a couple things going for it. It can take hits and survive quite a bit, and it helps you learn how to defeat better planes. Not only that, but if you play it, you get the next plane. And if you've made it this far, please subscribe. I know everyone asks that, but for a small channel like mine, it means the world when you subscribe. Also, I'm turning this reserve to top tier grind into a series, and here's how it's gonna work. I'll make one video on every tank, airplane, and helicopter in the German tech tree, starting with the very first tank, airplane, and helicopter, and working my way to the last one, with tips and tricks along the way. That way you can see how to play, or how not to play, every German tank, helicopter, and aircraft that Germany has to offer. This is gonna be fun. And if you want to know the absolute basics in WarThunder, then check out this video right here. And come back next time if you want to learn how overpressure works. So you shoot the top of the tank, and the tank go boom? Let's help each other get better, so that you too can become a low tier legend.